Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have some things to show you. So I have two of the Patrick Ta, what are they even called? The Artistry Edit palettes. I have light and medium, and then I have the duo, the Major Dimension Eye Illusion Eyeshadow Duo in the shade In Your Dreams. And I have a couple KJH products that I wanted to show you. So if you wanted to see how I got this look and what I think about these products, then just keep watching. Alrighty, so let's get started. If you can't tell, I am deathly ill right now, but we're just gonna keep it going. But I have a cough candy in my mouth, so if you're wondering what's going on with my face, that's what's going on. FYI, if you don't like being sick, don't marry a teacher, okay? Anywho, let's go in with the blush. First, we're gonna start with Road Toasted Teddy. I am wearing my foundation and everything already. Obviously did my brows. So we're gonna start with Toasted Teddy. And what I like to do is just go in with a brush and then kind of tap it off on my hand first. And then go in. I just find it makes it less, I don't know, like glossy on my face. It's not as shiny and it's not as patchy, because sometimes it can get patchy if you just go right in on the face with the thing, with the stick, or if you're just go right on to the face with the brush after just pressing it in. Anyways, who cares? I don't even know what I'm saying right now. So we're just adding a little bit of that because I have zero color right now. I'm gonna go back in, add a tiny bit more. See what I mean? Like if I just went on my face and stamped this, it would be patchy. So I feel like it just works best if I just blend it out a little bit onto my hand and then go in. And then we get a nice kind of blended look. And then I'm gonna put a powder blush over top of this, and I'm gonna use the Ilia blush in the shade Wonder. I just feel like these two really go nicely together, and I've been wearing it quite often. I did use this Morphe bronzer again today. This is the Sudden Heat bronzer, and I used this bronzer over top, the Armani. Sorry. And then Ilia, like I said, Ilia Wonder. This is one of my favorite shades. Pulse is actually very beautiful as well, but I feel like Pulse is definitely a little bit more of like a kind of summer spring shade, but you can definitely wear it any time of the year. I don't really follow that. So that is Wonder. And I normally don't wear a highlight with these blushes. You can, but I feel like I already have enough kind of luminosity from the blush and the foundation. I'm wearing the Natasha Denona foundation. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in with a blending brush, if I can find it, and just kind of blend this out a wee bit. And we are gonna try some things from KJH as well. I have tried a couple things. I'm still like unsure how I feel about them, but I'll show you what we got so far. So this actually came free with the order because I ordered a brush, and I guess with the price of it, I got this for free. So this is the KJH.Brand number 4 brush, which actually looks really nice for, like, I don't know, I think you could use this with concealer or use it with foundation. I'll have to see how Katie uses this one, but it does look like a really nice brush, and I like the little yellow handles. And then I also got this one because I see her use this one quite a bit. This is the number 2 brush. I was gonna say, I don't know if it says what it's for. Oh, it does. Perfect for cream blush. Density blends color seamlessly. I should have used it just now. And also works for diffusing other cream products like concealer. So this is what I thought it would be best for, was concealer. But this reminds me so much, I didn't even think about this, of my mini base from Sonia Kashuk. Okay, so it looks like mini base is a little bit bigger, but I do use this for cream blush quite a bit, so I feel like these would work nicely. I did get a cream blush as well, but again, I think this is more of like kind of a summery shade. I'll probably use it in one of my upcoming videos. I didn't want to wear it today. It just wasn't the look I was going for, but this is what she looks like. So this is the Soft Smudge Lip and Cheek. And I have the shade, I see her use this one quite a bit, Soft Coral. She uses it on her lips a lot. And it looks a little, I don't want to say patchy, but because it's probably not. Like when I blend it out, it doesn't. It's just when I kind of go over top, you know what I mean? Like it looks like it's skippy a little bit, but I think it should be fine once you blend it out. So I'm not going to say that it is patchy because I haven't tried it on my face yet, so don't quote me. But that's the shade. Very pretty shade. And then the thing that I was most excited about, I'm so sorry, I can't even talk anymore, was the pencils here. I have the Precision Sculpture Stylo, sorry. And I have the shade Chisel, and I also have the shade Etch. So these are the two. I'll show you the shades on my hand. I'll probably use Etch on my lips, and then I'll use Chisel maybe on my nose or on my eyes. We'll see. They are a little bit, this one's a little bit darker than I was expecting it to be. And Etch is a little more orangey than I thought it would be, because it doesn't really look orangey on her. You see what I mean? That's it blended out, and that's Chisel. And they are quite small. I expected them to be a little bit bigger, so this is 0.57 grams. And I wanted to just double check. I just want to make sure that's right. I'm kind of blind right now. 0.57 grams. And I double checked my Morphe, because this is kind of, I mean, this is more a contour that you can use on the eyes and the lips and the face. Morphe I generally only use to contour like my nose and lips. That's what she looks like. And this is 1.45 grams net weight. And then the Victoria Beckham is 1.1 grams. So definitely the smallest one. So that is Morphe. This is, sorry, Morphe, Victoria Beckham. These are the KJH. But KJH is a more precise pencil as well. It's definitely smaller, so you could get in smaller areas. But anyways, let's get started. So I'll probably use Chisel on my nose maybe. I haven't tried it on my face yet, but we'll see. I'm a little worried because I found that these, for blending, it's not that they're hard to blend, but I feel like it's not that it's hard to blend, it's just a little bit more difficult than the Morphe one that I'm used to. So for on the lips, I like to smudge it on my lips, but I find this one stays in place quicker than the Morphe, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna put a little bit more here because I like the tip of my nose to be a little bit shorter. I'm kind of making a mess here, but if I blend it, it should be fine. Actually seems to be blending not bad right now. But let's also go on the sides of the nose here. So I didn't take any more product, but I might take just a tiny bit more. I know she uses this one quite a bit on the eyes too, so you can see how precise it is. It is a very tiny tip. Okay, so that actually worked totally fine. I'm just going to blend this a tiny bit here. And then I always like to go over top of that with powder. Oh, I want to see what that other brush would be used for too. The number 4, that other one, makes powder application, oh, powder application effortless. Rounded shape is perfect for applying powder blush or setting makeup with a light touch. I cannot today. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like really trying. Thank goodness it's a long weekend and I have tomorrow off as well. Hopefully I will get better because I have a colonoscopy on Thursday and I'm hoping to be better by then because I can't deal with a cold and also the prep, you know? If you know, you know. It's not cool. And the powder I use to set this is always the same. It's always my Sephora, the colorful, what are they called? It's a cool tone contour powder in light to medium. Okay, so now we are going to move into the eyeshadow. So I have medium and I have light. Could not decide, did not need both. But I'll show you medium. They are a little hard to open. Like, am I the only one? I don't know. Maybe I am. So this is medium. So I do feel like you have a little bit more diversity with the medium compared to, I think the deep actually has the most because you have a black in there too, plus the browns. But light, I'll show you what it looks like. Very similar kind of shades to one another. And someone was saying that these are in the major dimension. So this is light and this is medium. I mean, I really like both of them, obviously. I'll try to use both for you today. Someone was saying these are the same colors as in here. They're not. Only one is the same. Do they look very similar? Yes, they're probably like almost identical. Maybe they just have different names. I don't know. But you know what I mean? And we could swatch them, and then I'll show you the light one next to this palette. So, like, do you need it? No. Did I? No. But anyways, I'll do some swatches. So I'll do the light one first. Oops, I think I just swatched over the second shade. My bad. I'm really bad at swatching, just FYI. Almost there. But honestly, I use such light shades, I could have just gone with the light and been totally happy. I have to do the number 2 shade again because I think I accidentally swatched over top of it. It's pretty much my skin tone. So this is the number 2 shade. Oh my gosh, why did I do this so crooked? Okay, so number 2 is up here. You can barely see it. Number 1, and then this is number 3, 4, 5, 6. It's very beautiful. I would have been totally fine just with this one by itself. And let's go on with the second one. Maybe we'll do it this way instead. So we do have that bone shade again. We have kind of like, it's not mustardy, I would say, but like kind of. Then we have that more rosy brown. Then there's that deeper reddish kind of brown. Oops. Why am I so bad at this? And this is why I don't do swatch videos. Oh my gosh. So you see what I mean? There is a little more diversity here, but knowing me, I'll probably use the light one more because I don't tend to go into those really dark shades as much unless I'm using it for liner. So I probably would have just been okay with the light. So let's take a look. I just want to read the names here. I think Essential was the only shade name that was the same. So this is Medium. And I just want to see the names here. So Medium is Attached, Necessary, Signature, Never Fails, Always, and Obsession. So it doesn't look like we have that in there. And then I'll go into the light shade, or the light one. Effortless Rotation, Essential, On Repeat, Go To, Chosen. So Essential looks like it's the only one. And Essential is, where is it now? This third one. So it looks like this one. This one doesn't look like any of these. This one is definitely more cool tone. I'm confused. Okay, they have the same name, but I don't think they're the same because this is Essential and it doesn't look like this third one. Okay, so this is Essential and this is Essential. These are not the same color. So never mind, I don't think they actually are any of the same shades. I mean, there's definitely close ones. So this second shade looks very similar to this shade here. Like those I could see kind of being twinsies. Like, you know what I mean? Like very close, but not quite. This bone shade in the big palette compared to the bone shade in the medium palette could be similar. Looks like this one's a little bit brighter. Maybe the second shade in medium and the third shade in, but then there's still a little bit of a difference here. Yeah, this one's darker. So very, very similar, but not exact. So do you need it? No, but it's nice to have, especially if you travel. It's nice to have the two. Anyway, or I mean the small palettes. So I think I'm going to start with the light palette, and we're going to just go on my eyelid here with, I just used the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. So we're going to go in with shade number 2. I don't think this is going to do much, to be honest. Yeah, not much color on shade 2. Like I said, that one's pretty much the color of my skin. So if you're light like me, you could probably just throw that all over the lid. And then if you wanted to use that lighter shade, you could use that on the inner corner. There is definitely some kick up here, but nothing crazy. So we're gonna go in with number 2 now. Or sorry, number 3, this one here. And we'll see how that one shows up. It's very pretty. This one definitely looks more cool toned, in my opinion, than the second palette, the medium palette. So we'll go in again with, we'll go in with this shade now. That's number 4. It has a name, but the names for some reason aren't actually on the boxes. I don't know why. I dropped them. But the names aren't on the back of here, and they're not on the boxes either for some strange reason. So now we'll go in with that darker shade and see if we can get a little bit of warmth with that one. I'm actually going to go in now with the last shade. I'm going to go in with this little Refer brush. It's number 26, and this is the darkest shade here. And I'm just going to go in the outer corner here and see. So you can get a little bit of depth there with that shade. Honestly, this is as dark as I would really need to go for an everyday look. But if you are a deeper skin tone than I am, you might want to go with the medium. Okay. So that's all I have so far. Blended super, super easily. There's not a ton of like differentiation between like, let's say these two shades. Like I feel like one of those could have been different. We could have just had the one and then maybe added a black, which would have been nice, but I get why they didn't put a black. It's a medium palette. So now we're gonna go in with, or it's a light palette. I cannot today, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm gonna actually use the lightest shade too. I didn't use that yet. I'm gonna take just like a flat brush here and go in with that lightest shade. And I'll go a little bit on the eyelid with that, but I think it might be a little bit bright. And then we're gonna go in with just my brush. Come on. You're actually kidding, it was in my hand the whole time. Like, oh, this is how I just don't even know what's going on. Going back in with that lightest shade, and I am just gonna go into the inner corner with that. And I always like to pull it up a little bit just to give my eye a little more brightness because she looks sleepy. And then I'm gonna take this brush again and go in with the second shade, which is that shade that's closest to my skin tone, and just blend it a little bit. And then we're gonna go back in with this little brush, which I use the darkest shade on. I just wanted to kind of add a little bit more in there. And then we'll go back in with the blending brush and just kind of blend all that together. And this is the kind of look that I would just do every single day. Like this is a super easy peasy eye look. I'm gonna go in with medium now. Go in with this shade here, which is that kind of mustardy shade, but it's still got warmth to it. So, but you could see immediately upon the second application, or the application of the second shade in this palette, that there's definitely more pigment for sure in this one. And you could see the kick up, but again, not a big deal. Probably shouldn't have blown on it when I'm sick, but you know, it's only me using it. Okay, so that is definitely a shade I would use every single day. We're gonna go in with a kind of like a little more fluffy, like it's a fluffy brush, but it's a little bit more like densely packed. So we'll go in with maybe this shade and this shade. So these are definitely more like reddish toned. I feel like you can probably pick that up right away. And I'm gonna add a little bit of that fourth shade. And then I think these two I'm specifically gonna use for liner. I'll just mix the two of them. Guys, I gotta move out of this building. Like, it's just nonstop noise. I gotta get out. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna just clean off this brush a little bit, this rougher brush that I used earlier. Go in with that second darkest shade, and I will just add a touch of depth to the outer lash line here, and maybe even add the darkest shade and just a tiny little dab of that. It's a very simple look. I think that's just what you're gonna get. I'm going in with that second shade again and just kind of blending it all. You can do like more dramatic looks, obviously. You can use like this shade and go all over the lid with that and make it a smokier look. These are just the kind of looks that I usually go for on an everyday basis. So let's go in with the Bone shade. I'll wipe this brush off. And it is light enough for, you know, somebody who has the same type of complexion as I do. And then we'll go back in with that, the one that's also, again, still in my hand, wiping that off. Go in with that Bone shade again. Why did I do that? I have different eye colors. Why did I do that? Anyway, this is medium and this is light. So you can still build up quite, I don't want to say an intense look because it's not intense, but you can get depth if you are somebody of my skin tone. But this one's going to give you some more warmth. It's funny because I thought this one would be more warm, but actually medium is more warm. And what we're also going to do is add, do I have it here? I do. I know, I can't control myself. In Your Dreams, which is very beautiful. Compare that to the one that I currently have. So this is In Your Dreams. First shade. I thought they had two different names, but I guess not. So this one is a little more silvery. This one's a little more kind of champagne, I would say. So that one has a little more silver. That one has a little more champagne. Not a lot of base, but that's what I like. I like just a subtle twinkle of shimmer. So I'm probably going to do my eyeliner and then add this on, but I just will show you the difference if I can find it. Okay, we found her. I have Talk to My Team, which is kind of like a similar shade. I would say Talk to My Team is more pinky. So you could see, compare the two here. In Your Dreams, Talk to My Team. So they both have like a pinky shift to them. They definitely feel smoother, but you could see there's not as much punch for sure. Like these are definitely more subtle. That's for sure. So In Your Dreams, Talk to My Team. So we will add the eyeliner, like I said, then I will go on top with a little bit of In Your Dreams, and I will be right back. Okay, so added eyeliner on both sides, obviously. I added, sorry. I added Victoria Beckham Beauty Cinnamon. So I'm going to go in with this kind of more champagne-y shade, and I'm just going to tap it kind of like right in the center. And that's just how I like wearing these types of shades. Honestly, just a tiny little twinkle. And that's kind of what I was hoping like the Makeup by Mario palette would be. I still do really like it, but I was hoping it would be that sort of like twinkle. Okay, so I find this one, like I said, is definitely pulling cooler, which is weird. I thought it was going to be warmer. And then the medium is definitely pulling warmer, but I think they both look very nice, and you still can get like a little bit of depth with the medium. Okay, I'm gonna move on to my lips, and after my lips then I'll go on to my mascara. So let's go in with Etch by KJH. And I do find this formula dry, and that's probably a good thing because that means it'll be long lasting. However, the only thing I don't like about that is that I don't have like the blendability, as much smudgeability, just making up words here, as I do with like the Morphe. it like gives you a minute to play with it. This one feels like it kind of gets stuck right away, which is a little bit surprising because it's for the face. You'd think you'd have just like a little bit more time to work with it, but like she smudges it so effortlessly. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? It still does move, but you know what I mean? Like it kind of, you have very little time to mess around with it. So this shade I was hoping was going to be a little bit cooler toned on me. It's definitely pulling warm for sure. So maybe I'll just add in a tiny bit of chisel. But I don't want it to be too dark either. So there we go. I should have probably used chisel as my eyeliner. I wasn't thinking about that one. So I don't know what lipstick I want to use. I'll probably just go in with the one I've been loving the most lately is this one that you can't get anymore, the MAC Underslept. So I will go in with something similar, which is, or maybe I won't because it's stuck. It's gonna say which is the Laura Mercier Chantilly Lace. I think we're making progress. Okay. She's stuck. I'm just like not, okay, now she's not stuck. I'm not totally feeling myself right now. It's probably because I'm sick and I just look like a trash bag. But speaking of trash bags, are we watching Love is Blind? Casey? Would it be? I don't like how she treated Patrick. Like, don't be telling him, oh, I love you, kissing him, wrapping her legs around him. Like, what? And then she's like, yeah, I'm not attracted to him. Like, you have a funny way of showing it, girlfriend. What? Anyway, I'm going to add a tiny bit of grayish because I just feel like it needs just a smidge. Anyway, I'm not done watching. I'm not totally caught up, so no spoilers, but like, not a fan. Okay. What I think I want to add, just a tiny bit, I was going to say I want to add Acting Natural a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Clearly very indecisive. Also, like, Patrick's a sweetheart. Like, why didn't he pick Anna? Sorry for the spoilers, if you don't want to hear any more. Skip past this. I mean, maybe they meet. Hopefully they meet. Because they seemed like they were... Anywho, I'm going to get my mascara on and I will be right back. Okay, so mascara's on. I feel like I look a little more alive now. I just compared a couple of the shades in this palette to the Moon Dust palette that came out a few years ago. So Star Cowgirl, I compared to... Sorry, I think this is Star Cowgirl. I compared to Patrick Ta. Patrick's is a little more pinky, I would say. And then this is Space Cowboy, and then this is In Your Dreams. So Patrick's is a little more intense. I'm just going to do that whitish kind of shade again. This is that like silvery one. Oh, I lied. Sorry, this is Patrick's. And this is... I can't get it together, okay? This is Space Cowboy. This is In Your Dreams. This is... Patrick's In Your Dreams, and then that was, what is it called? Star Cowgirl. Yeah, that's Star Cowgirl. Star Cowgirl has a little more pink in it. This one actually has more like silver. So very, very similar. Again, if you have this, you don't really need that. But I do feel like Patrick Ta's has a little more pop to it. So this is what she's looking like. I did only use just that one kind of champagne-y shade, but I think it's really pretty. And as far as the eyeshadows, why am I kind of liking the medium one better? I was like, oh, for sure I would just get the light because I only stick to the light shades, but I kind of feel like I like the undertone of the medium better. Like this is definitely pulling more cool toned, which I don't mind, but yeah. So all in all, do you need these? Not if you have the Major Dimension 3. You don't, because you have, they're not exact, but very, very similar shades. If I thought I would have just gone for this one because I generally just go for lighter shades. But I am glad to have this one because I like to have those like deeper browns and kind of like the like reddish tones. I like these like mid tones, like this one for sure. But they're all very beautiful. I don't know, it's hard to say, should you get light or should you get medium? If you're my like shade twin, it depends on you. If you don't wear either of these dark shades, like I use the darker shade to kind of elongate my eyeliner. If you don't use the dark shades at all, then go for the light for sure. But also if you have that one, do you need these? No. Get them if you want like travel size palettes. Like these are stuff that I would use every single day though, because I do use these type of shades. So it's up to you. If you need them and you don't have the big one, then I say get one, but you only need one. And this is beautiful. No regrets. I do think it's very beautiful, especially for the holiday season. So yeah, I will continue to use the KJH products a little bit more. Like I said, I haven't used the blush yet, so I don't know how that performs. But as far as the Stylos go, I'm undecided. I like them, but I think like the shade of my Morphe pencil, I like just a little bit more for around the lips. It's honestly a little bit more like greeny toned, which I think sounds weird, like maybe a little more olive. But I like that because it makes my lipstick look a little bit more, I don't know, cool toned, if that makes sense. And I like a cool tone lip. Chisel's almost just like a little bit too dark for my lips, but it worked on the nose. It worked perfectly. So I feel like I'll use chisel on the eyes too. And etch is just a tiny bit too warm. So right now, I like this the best, the Morphe Shape Lifter. But I'm going to play with them a little bit more because you never know. I do like how this came out. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I'm like all over the place and my brain's not all there today, but I really wanted to get this video up for you, and I will see you soon. Bye. I also wanted to quickly mention that I did have a little subtle issue with shipping with KJH. It took a little bit longer than expected, but we're having strikes with Canada Post, etc. But I did reach out to them and they were amazing. So I just wanted to say, Katie, if you ever see this, your team is absolutely awesome, and thank you so much. And that's it.